Hello, fellow seekers and self-explorers. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the difference about blame and responsibility. And this came to me recently when discussing with someone about a specific situation that was going on at work. And I could see the blame game going on, having to find someone being responsible for a problem. And it seemed to be a confusion between the word responsibility and who is at fault, who is to blame. So it was very interesting, and this is why I'm doing this little video here today, to maybe hopefully clarify a little bit and recognize, be aware when we get stuck and sucked into that blame game, which is part of the drama triangle. I did a video on that, the Stefan Karpman drama triangle. When we get stuck into the victim, persecutor, rescuer mode. So it was very much relevant to that video. So before we go any further, let's first, and I like to do that, to really look at the word and the meaning behind the word. So let me share this with you. What does blame mean really? So the verb to blame is to find fault with, as opposed to praise. And also from Old French, blasphémer, which is to rebuke, reprimand, condemn. And from the late Latin, blasphemare, to blaspheme. So the noun now, the blame, is an act or expression of disapproval for something deemed wrong. From the Old French, blâme, which is blame, reproach, condemnation, and also culpability. So it's very interesting to see the kind of the negative connotation of this word. We have the word fault, right? Rebuke, reprimand, condemn, blasphemy. We also have wrong here, reproach, condemnation, culpability. So I really want to share this with you because, I mean, it's difficult to really take accountability for something when we believe that we're going to be punished for it. And that's what the word blame is about, something wrong, living in this duality of right and wrong. When we are to blame, we did something wrong, we're going to be punished. When really responsibility is completely different. And actually what responsibility means, and that may help clarify a little bit for you guys here. It's from the Latin verb respondere, which means to respond. So basically, responsibility is the ability to respond, which is very, very different. There is no connotation of right or wrong here, of condemnation, of being punished, of committing some kind of fault. Very different. So it's important really to understand when we get really sucked into blaming someone. So when we're blaming someone, we're guilting them. And we're not helping. It's not helping them learn from their mistake. Because really what it's about, any mistake, any problem, it's there to be learned from. And if we put this blame, even self-blame, it's the same thing. If we blame somebody else, we're not making them responsible. We're taking away their ability to respond and to learn from the mistake. Just like when we're blaming ourselves, we enter into this guilt trip, we guilt ourselves, we're punishing ourselves, we feel we need to be punished, we did something wrong. How is that helping to take responsibility, to be able to respond? So really when we feel we made a mistake, how am I going to learn from that mistake? How am I going to respond? What is my ability to respond? And I was talking about that video earlier about the drama triangle, because really this is what it's about. And it should appear at some point later at the end of the video here if you want to give it a look. It's really helpful to understand when we blame ourselves or when we blame someone else, when we play that blame game, we put that person or ourselves as a victim. Yes, because when we're victims, we struggle to take our responsibility, to respond, right? So the reaction is like, oh my God, this is terrible. What I did or what I did is so wrong. And then we either put guilt on the person or on ourselves, and then we become a victim of ourselves. We're victimizing ourselves. We might even punish ourselves. Okay, so this is about really getting out of that and taking our responsibility. It does not mean taking the blame. It means learning from our mistake. And it's not negative at all. It is quite empowering, actually. Okay, so remember, responsibility does not mean someone is at fault or did something wrong. Being responsible means that we are able to respond to the situation, to the mistake. That is nothing else but a learning opportunity. Nothing other than that. And that kind of changed the whole perspective on it. So really this video is just a little tip like this. I mean, who has never felt guilty? Right? A lot of time, even unconsciously, we beat ourselves up for things, thinking we did something wrong. And really by changing the perspective of that, looking at it from a different view, there is nothing wrong ever. We are responsible for pretty much everything in our lives. It does not mean we are to blame. It means we are creating our life. We are here experiencing what we are experiencing because of the choices we've made, because of the people we're surrounding ourselves with. So all of the things that are happening in our lives is our responsibility. It is out of our own creation. So how am I going to respond? What is my ability to respond to what I create, really? All right, so this is an invitation to maybe not blame so much, not guilt so much, and respond to life. All right, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you maybe next week for another video. Take care, everyone.